Okay, so to start our corespun yarn, you attach the fiber to the leader and you spin about a yard of a regular single. This really helps the person working the yarn for an easy cast on and bind off so that they don't have a lot of stuff to be working with. So when you're ready to attach the core, you take your whatever you're using and pinch it here into the fiber, into your drafting triangle, so that it's nice in there. And you again just start to spin a single with the core hidden there in the midst of the fiber. And I usually spin another 6 or so inches so that it's really secure. Once you've gotten a nice secure core, I wrap the core once around my palm for resistance. Now this really helps because you don't actually want to be pinching the core because you'll push the fiber up and create a little bubble. It will also build twist, which will create an overspun yarn. Your strength in a corespun yarn actually comes from the core itself, not from the twist you build in the fiber. The more twist, the tighter the fiber will wrap around the core. The less treadles, for as fast as it gets pulled up, the lighter and fluffier the yarn will be. So I have here my finger that will guide the fiber around the core. I pinch to the side, which will keep the twist from building, and that's where I pull, and then I treadle slowly and let the fiber wrap around the core between 60 to 90 degrees. And so you get a real wrapped effect as opposed to that barber pull in a normal single. So again, you pull away from the core and wrap. Pull and wrap. And now I'm going for a lot of texture, so I'm not doing really thin drafting. You can make your corespun yarn really just a little bit thinner than the core if you're going for just a little bit of fiber, or you can get really bulky yarns that have a lot of texture. Corespinning is great for maintaining texture in yarn. Okay, so I've gotten to the point where I want to add one of my ornaments. And so what I do is I take the ornament here. You can let go of the fiber. It's not really going to do anything. And I attach it to the core yarn with a little knot so it hangs here. Now this gives it a really good secure, just really good secure pull so that it won't get pulled out of the yarn. And what I do is I begin to spin and I wrap the fiber around the very top of that little knot, and then I let it spin on the other side of the fiber, and I keep going. And so now I have a little ornament hanging from my yarn that is secure and is not going to get pulled out because it's actually attached with that knot to the core. Now, sometimes these danglies can be a little fragile, and so you'll see as they dangle they can hit against the flyer. And so what I like to do is actually spin up a good length so that then I can wrap it onto the bobbin and tuck it under the yarn. Okay, so that as then the yarn wraps around the bobbin, it secures the ornament into its spot so it won't smash against the flyer and possibly damage your add-in or even your wheel. Now the key with corespinning, especially when you're new at it, is to treadle slowly, because you will probably treadle harder and faster than you are pulling the yarn up, and so again you'll build more twist than you need and you'll just get something that's really overspun. And you're seeing I'm trying to get some nubs and texture here because I'm wanting this to look like tree bark. And as you see, I'm pinching next to the core as opposed to on the core to get my draft. Corespinning is supposed to take longer than a single. And that's why it usually costs more in the shops. And so you just keep going like this until you're ready to add something else in, or you come to the end of your fiber. And so I'll come back to you when we're ready to do both.